Just entered the state of Florida. They had an accident back there. Obviously, as you can see, that interstate lane is blocked for miles and miles. That's the one thing I'm not going to like when I get into expediting. Just sitting in that. I mean, traffic has been stopped so long, people are out walking their dogs and everything else on the interstate. Anyway, decided to add that to this video clip. Please. Accident after accident in interstates and the highways and everywhere in Pensacola, Florida. I drove almost over 1,900 miles so far, almost 2,000 miles, and haven't seen really much of anything in terms of accidents all the way along the thing until I got to Florida. And then it seems like, I don't know if nobody can drive or what the hell. But this is the 4th accident I've seen in just the time it takes to get into town. Like, subscribe, leave comments, catch you in a flip. Good evening, YouTuber subscribers and friends and alike. It's Grant coming at you from Walmart in Pensacola, Florida. It's September 20th or 21st. It's a Wednesday. Basically, I reached Pensacola and I think I'm going to stay here. I'm not exactly sure. I'm about 50-50 because of the crowds and everything else. I'm going to take the day tomorrow and go down to essentially the Gulf of Mexico. The Florida beaches. There's 3 or 4 south, like Orange Beach and South Pensacola Beach and stuff right here on the southern edge of Pensacola, right there at the Gulf of Mexico. Go there and relax tomorrow and think about it a while. But I love the temperature and the weather here in Florida. Isn't as hot and muggy as the southern states, I guess, even though it's way more southern. It seems like you enter a different region, kind of. And the attitude of people, of course, it's just like any other eastern coast state. People are just in a hurry. They hurry up and get to nowhere. As you see in the previous video clips, there's a couple, 2 or 3 accidents I drove by today, and that's just another whole way that people around Florida and all of the East Coast kind of drive. They just fly right along because they're in a hurry to get to nowhere. And that's the attitude when you step in line at fast foods or anywhere to either two. You just become a number. Nobody really wants to help you. But at the same time, when you jump into Florida, and especially southern Florida, the demographic kind of changes. Florida's always had a neat, different kind of feeling to it than the rest of the states on the East Coast. I'm gonna stay here tomorrow anyway and relax on the beach, make some videos of it, and then on what it'd be Friday, I'm gonna go to the library and hit up for jobs and work and everything and get ready for figuring out what to do with next week. Either I'm gonna head back up north to Tennessee or something, which I'm not very excited, I guess the word is, about living in Tennessee while I wait to go into expediting. Expediting itself I'm excited for, but I don't know if I'm a big fan of Tennessee. Last time I was there, it wasn't, I mean, it's not bad, they got their own culture and everything, but I don't know if I could live there, like live in the actual state year-round or whatever. Here in Florida, I know I could live here. I could find different spots and I'd be happy with living here. It's a state like Montana or South Dakota and stuff like that where people are pretty laid back, depending on where you go. And I lived here a month. It wasn't quite a month. I don't remember now if it was 3 weeks or a month or something like that in Orlando, Florida, way back in the day in 2006. I was here for a little while anyway and got to experience the culture and the coast. That officially makes it 10 years, almost exactly 10 years, because it was November, so about a month short of 10 years since the last time I've been in Florida. Not here specifically, but in Florida. So it's kind of nice to get down here and just the smells and the people and everything and the scenery and the weather. It's kind of a whole different thing. It's almost like you step into a different state than the southern states, but northern Florida is more like the southern states. But when you get south of Florida, like Miami and Orlando and everything, it's better. And I'm still trying to decide. That's the other thing, is to go a little further south into Florida and waste a little gas money and more time going down there and live there for the winter, which I might do, because now that I'm far enough down south, don't ever have to worry about snow. The only thing you have to worry about in this area is hurricanes and the more tropical weather, depending on the time of the year. But that part, I really like the idea of having 80-degree days, 60-degree nights, and no snow. You know, all year long. I wouldn't mind that at all through December and January and so on. And that's why I'm tempted to stay here instead of going into expediting quite yet. But at the same time, I do want to go into expediting. If I could just get past all the little details. I don't know, I'm going to hit up the bigger companies. I'm going to hit up the classifieds again on Friday. And see if there's some way or another I can jump through a loophole to where I don't have to change too much stuff around. If that's the case, if I can just get in and drive somebody's van and make him and me money and whatever, then I'm all for it and I'll go and do it. But so far, between commercial insurance and then having to have a CDL and possibly getting my medical card again for physical and all that to run through some of the states, because some states require DOT stuff for the vans and the weight and everything, and some companies don't because they only haul light stuff. But at the same time, it's a commercial business, so I'm pretty sure no matter what, I'm going to end up having to get a CDL and go through all that, which is fine. I can do that. It's just going to cost me a little more money than anticipated. Well, not anticipated, but that I'd like to spend, I guess I should say. And so that, combined with paying for the car payment on this, that I'm going to have to get caught up in a month, and car insurance, and, you know, feeding myself and getting by and everything, I'm thinking my best option is probably to look for a job locally here. What I'd really like to do is be an Uber driver, but my car is not new enough to qualify for that, I don't think. I'm gonna look into it. Or maybe go be a taxi cab driver, but at the same time, I wouldn't mind. I'd be comfortable with being a taxi cab driver in Sioux Falls or Rapid City, South Dakota, or even Billings, Montana, someplace where I've driven around a lot enough to know where the hell I'm going, let alone where they're going, the passenger needs to go to. But here in a completely new town, I like the idea of being one. I could drive around and drive people around all day. That would be fun. But having to know where I'm going and stuff like that, I don't know. I may have to wait on that for a while before I can jump into that or something. I don't know. But mostly I'd like to go into expediting. But like I say, I just have to see how it goes. Tomorrow is Thursday. I'm going to go down to the beach and relax. Think about it. Just spend the day thinking about what I should do. If I want to stay here all winter or not or what. And then Friday, I'm gonna spend the day at the library talking to everybody that I can on my phone, so that I just paid $50 more toward my phone bill to make sure it's on for the next 3 weeks. But, you know, that alone's gonna push me to call everybody and make sure I get everything, or checked out every avenue that I could, I guess. The weather here is, you know, as hot as the other states were, but over Texarkana and whatever, but I don't know how to explain it. The temperature and humidity are different. It's like a, I don't know, like a more wet heat here than over there where it's just dry, nasty heat in Texarkana or something. Here it's not so bad at 90 degrees. And I've always kind of liked Florida anyway. Last time I was here, and then kind of like it here while I'm here right now. But that's where I'm at. I'm kind of 50-50. I'd like to go into expediting, but the more and more I keep coming into these hurdles, the less and less makes me interested in doing it. Unless I can find an easy way to go about it. But then again, it's a goal, and you know, you can always set life, have those goals in life. You know, my goal to get my CDL again, my medical card, whatever I need all to do, and commercial insurance to insure me, or maybe even the goal of saving up money locally for a van someday, which I don't know if that'd happen or not. Maybe if I got a really good job here, you never know. One thing about Florida is they do have good paying jobs like cruise ships or wherever the heck. High paying hotels that pay pretty good and stuff, resorts and whatnot. And then if my money is not going to rent because I'm staying in my car, I could potentially make bank. You never know this winter. I have to check into what's all available locally and then expediting what's all available by Tennessee and see. But this video is getting pretty long, combining with the other clips that I had, so just wanted to let you know I'm in Pensacola, Florida, and I'm most likely going to stay here through next week. Well, I'll stay in Florida through next week. I'm not sure on Pensacola yet. But like and subscribe, leave comments. We'll catch you in a flip. Peace.